Straya, how are you going? How you going? Are you full of chalky? I bloody well hope so. That's right. This is NBA Straya. It's Sunday, April 20, also known as Easter Sunday. And I am full of tins, food, and chocolate. It's awesome. What a world we live in. Anyway, this is just a little bit of a weird extra NBA Straya. I promised it back on Thursday. We had the first round openers of the playoffs today, and we have the other half tomorrow. So all I wanted to do, we've got no bells and whistles here on this here episode. We're literally just going in. We're raw dogging this one. We're raw dogging it. It's getting chafed. It's all going upside down. This one might hurt a little. We'll see how we go. But I have been absolutely flat out chasing after a couple of squids down here at the beach the last couple of days. A lot of family stuff, a lot of tins, good hangs, good times. But we got some cracking games today, and we also got some shockers. So all I want to do on this show, and we'll take, 15 minutes. All I want to do is just go through the games that happened today very, very quickly, and then set you up for those 4 big games tomorrow, because they're at like 3 a.m. Australian time on Monday. So I promised a Sunday night pop-in. This is Sunday night pop-ins with Jim. So without further ado, let's get into it. I think we should just go and do episode 1250 of NBA Straya right now. All right, strap in. There's no other real news outside of the fact that obviously back on Saturday we had our 8 seed games, right? So we have Memphis just kick the crap out of Dallas. Dallas looked completely just demoralized, bemused, angry, and absolutely everyone's favorite moment in that game when they kept cutting to Nico Harrison, the man who, in the process of fucking around, very clearly found out. Remember how Dallas was like a contender, and then this fucking big dumb idiot went, "No, I'm smarter than everybody," and traded for Anthony Davis. That's right, a 32-year-old injury-prone big man who had a very good game until, that's right, he was injured. Traded a 25-year-old perennial MVP candidate who also lost today, but still. By the by, they get demolished and rated. Like, Ja Morant's playing on one leg. It doesn't matter. He's still dunking on everyone. Awesome, awesome performance by Memphis. And then Miami-Atlanta in the other game was an absolute cracker. Our man Dyson Daniels couldn't quite get his Hawks over the line. So we have the Hawks joining our man Josh Giddey in the Chicago Bulls as your play-in losers, which kind of sucks from an Aussie point of view, doesn't it? But here we are. We'll have a Cleveland-Miami 1-8 matchup in the East and OKC-Memphis 1-8 in the West. And that gets us to the NBA playoffs 2025, first round, game 1. It all started off this morning. It was gnarly. I did not wake up at 3 a.m. to watch Bucks Pacers because I'm not an absolute lunatic. Also, I'd had a million tins last night hanging out. So that wasn't going to happen. But anyway, the Bucks lose it 98-117. You might remember back on Thursday, we picked the Pacers to run over the top of them because the Pacers are really, really, really good. And in this game, they were really, 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 really good. I was going back over and watching this one, and you're like, oh, it's just coming from everywhere. And that's what happened. You had 25 from Siakam, you got 19 from Miles Turner, you had 4 blocks. Nembhard had 17, you had 10 and 12 from our man Tyrese Halliburton. Couldn't hit a shot, but didn't really matter. Everybody else did. Benny Mathurin, TJ McConnell. And the Bucks, they're just like, oh yeah, remember how you guys used to have Dame Lillard and now you don't? And it's like, well, remember how you used to have Chris Middleton and you traded for Kyle Kuzma? Hashtag spud of the night. 0 of 5 in his first playoff game as a Milwaukee Buck. God, he was bad. 0 points, 0 rebounds, 0 assists, 0 of 5 in 22 minutes. That is the Kyle Kuzma experience, Bucks fans. Yeesh. Giannis was awesome. What do you have, like 36 and 12? But yeah, the Bucks were just nowhere near the level of this Indiana Pacers team who was they were completely fired up. They were psychos, and it was awesome. They got up by 28. Look, the Bucks came flying all the way back, but then they settled down and they got the win. So good job by the Pacers. They go up 1-0. Then we had an absolute belter. Nuggets Clippers goes to overtime. We got the full Russell Westbrook experience in this game, and it was absolutely psychotic, which is just the way Russell would have it. The Nuggets hold on to win 112-110. And if you'd followed my picks, of course, we had the Nuggets -2.5. So thank you a lot, Norm Powell, for hitting a meaningless 3 with 0.5 of a second left in this game so that the Nuggets win by 2. You're breaking my heart. Anyway, this was an awesome game. Harden played his ass off. He had 32, 6, and 11. He had 21 and 13 from Zoobs and Kawhi. 22 and 6. The big problem was, Norm didn't really get going until late when he hit that 3. Box Hill, Ben Simmons did absolutely... You want another spud of the night? His 13 minutes was so rubbish. He had 3 fouls, 2 assists, 2 rebounds, 0 points, missed a shot. Bogdan couldn't hit a shot. The thing that kept them in it is that Michael Porter Jr. was horrible in his 26 minutes. And Jamal Murray couldn't find the bucket at all. He shot 7 of 20. But we did get a big Joker game. He had the 29, 9, and 12. He had a triple-double there for a minute. And then they took away the rebound. Oh, you'd be spewing. But 15 for Rusty. And this was a very special Russell Westbrook game, wasn't it? Where he hits a massive 3 late. He's causing havoc defensively. He's getting deflections that cause out of bounds off Harden. And then he's also driving to the bucket and missing shots when they could just hold the ball and just go on to win the bloody game. But he's Russell Westbrook. You live by the Westbrook, you die by the Westbrook. Aaron Gordon was good. He had the 25 and 8. Hit a big 3 late as well. But this was a weird one. Yeah, the Christian Brown take foul when they didn't have any fouls to give. Gave the Clippers a sniff. And to be honest, it felt like it was right there for the Clippers to win this game. And the Nuggets just sort of out-executed them. And you sort of look at this game, and this is what we talked about in the series preview. It's kind of how most of these games should probably go between these two teams, right? I think we picked the Nuggets just because at home, the familiar surrounds. I feel like, we trusted the Nuggets in that spot. Would not be surprised if the Clippers came out and win game 2 in Denver. But that game was awesome. Came down to the wire. It was radical. Fun on the bun. And so was Knicks Detroit. Until the Knickerbockers win this one 123-112, ripped off a 21-0 run that put the game away. And you're like, what the hell just happened? The Pistons were asking the exact same thing. Cade Cunningham had a weird, interesting sort of playoff debut. It felt like he was absolutely up for it early. And then in the second half, the Knicks just sort of slowly gave him the clamps. You want me to use these clamps? And that's what they did. But the thing was, Malik Beasley, he was hitting a million threes. You had Tobias Harris, the never nude. Tobias Harris, God bless him. He was awesome. 25 and 6, 8 of 13 from the floor. Hey, Tobias, it's a really big spot. We're in the first Detroit playoff game in a million years. Can you get us 25? You got it, boss. Holy shit, he actually did. It was amazing. They got 19 from Hardaway. Orsar Thompson had 10 and 6. Jalen Duren couldn't do too much against the Knicks front men, the big fellas. And you felt like that's okay, but it was kind of everybody else, like Ron Holland, Dennis Schroeder, they needed more from. And they didn't quite get it. And with Cade Cunningham ending up with 21, 6, and 12, but it came on 8 and 21 shooting, and they totally took him out in the second half. It was very weird. Great win by the Knicks, who Brunson just gave them the full experience. He had 34 and 8. Cat was awesome. He had 23, 11, and 5 with 4 steals and 2 blocks. The OG Anunoby, though, he kept them completely afloat in that first half. He ends up with 23 points, 5 steals. Yeesh. They call him, the Knicks version of Dyson Daniels, I guess. What do you got? 8, 2, and 2 from Mikal Bridges as well. But Josh Hart chucked in 13, 7, and 6. Mitchell Robinson was pretty impressive. And then Campaign. Oh, God, Campaign. Out there looking like the bloody sloth from, Ice Age, those movies. I've been watching some squid movies. The squids just have gone full movie buffs. It's awesome. But yeah, he's got the weird-looking face and the weird-looking head. Campaign. Awesome game from him. Absolutely turned this game on its head in the fourth quarter. Gave them enough runway to then run away with it, and that's what they did. That Knicks-Pistons series, this is awesome. These games, there might not be too many memorable ones. They went 15 to 32 from downtown, the Pistons, to give themselves a sniff. And it feels like, I think we talked about this the other day, right? The Knicks are good enough to kick the shit out of the Pistons. The Pistons win this series in the regular season 3-1. But the Knicks are a better team. The Pistons will fight and fight and fight, though. I don't know if this series is going to be sexy. I do know that it will be competitive at times, but I still feel like the Knicks will have their number in the end. But it was a really, really cool taster. I enjoyed that. You had all the Knicks fans there. You've got all the famous people. It was gnarly. It's going to be very funny when they go back to Detroit and it's like, there's, I don't know, Tim Allen. Here's Jared Goff. And you're like, all right. Anyway, and then the final one. The Timberwolves run right over the top of the Lakers, kick the absolute living shit out of them despite Luka going off in that first quarter. What did he end up with? It was like 37-8. Not bad, but he only had one assist. That's one of those telling ones. You're watching this game and you're like, oh, yeah, he's not really... No one else is doing much, are they? It was funny. It's like, oh, hey, anybody else do anything? And they're like, no, Jim, we're not going to. LeBron had like 19, but he shot 8 of 18. Austin Reeves, 5 of 13. And it felt like the absolute nightmare scenario in this game for the Lakers, right? Where Luka can score, Luka can do his thing. He shoots 12 of 22. And absolutely nobody else can do a fucking thing against this Wolves defense that has been threatening to be awesome all year. And then they just give him the old 1-2 Costa Zoo in a 38-20 second quarter that completely fucking ruined the Lakers shit. Like even Magic Johnson, once we get back into the normal studio and we're playing the actual drops and shit, the Magic tweet of the week is him going, JJ Redick is a good coach, but that was fucked. And I'm like, Jesus, Magic. Thanks. I've never seen Magic so angry on Twitter before. Then he's just like, that was just inexcusable from everybody. And like, fucking tone it down, Magic. There might be kids reading this. Anyway, for the Wolves, you had Ant-Man do a bit of damage. He ends up with 22, 8, and 9. Really, really good game from Ant-Man. And sort of like just got them pointed in the right direction because then it was Naz Reid who hit 6 6 of 9. Nice. 25 for Jaden McDaniels. That's found money for the Wolves. Now they're up 1-0 in this series. They've got home court. This is huge because Randall was pretty good on LeBron. 16, 5, and 5. Made him work both ways. And then they sort of just filled in the gaps and ran away with it and shot the piss out of it. 21 of 42. That is a Wolves playoff record. So yeah, they did a good job. And their size really fucked with the Lakers. Where I was saying the other day, I feel like the Lakers' size in every position that isn't at center. And Gobert didn't really do a giant amount in this one. He only played 24 minutes, but it was Naz Reid. And then everybody else, you're like, oh, right. So all of their dudes are pretty fucking big as well. So really, really, really impressive win for the Wolves, I thought. I can't wait for game 2 of that series to see if the Lakers can actually bounce back and fight back. So, righto. Anyway, that's the 4 games from today. How about the games for tomorrow? Let's do some picks, some game previews. Game previews. Thanks, Inadvertent Bane. Not a problem, Jim. How's it all going? Oh, yeah, it's been great. I've had an awesome time down the beach. But the games we've got tomorrow, let's have a look and do a bit of a pick and preview for each of them, shall we? We've got game 1's, the other 4 remaining. So what's that? The 1-8 seeds, obviously, we've got OKC versus Memphis. We've got Cleveland versus Miami. And we will have, what else? We've got Houston versus Golden State, which is an absolute fucking belter there. And Boston, Orlando. So we sort of broke down these series the other day. And if you look at the way that these series lie, Grizzlies, Thunder, there's no love lost there. The way the Grizzlies played the other day was really super duper impressive. And they kicked the shit out of Dallas. And that was funny. They are now 13.5-point underdogs against the Oklahoma City Thunder tomorrow morning at 3 a.m. So I'm just saying, people might not have that much faith in Memphis being able to turn it around. And I tend to agree with them. You saw it in the first game today, right? Indy, they just got on a roll, and the other team, the Bucks, just never really got into a groove. Jar's ankle looked amazing. And it's one of those situations where you're like, not as a medical doctor, you go, well, maybe it's good that it was closer to the injury than further away. And you're like, I don't know, even know if that fucking makes sense. And he's still jumping over the tops of dudes. So who fucking knows? All I know is that the Thunder will be absolutely up and about and fucking frothing this game. Their fans, the team, And it feels like Memphis are going to get fed into the wood chipper in the first game. And then they might bounce back and really give them a run for their money in the second game as they settle into the series. And it all depends on Ja's foot, right? So I just think OKC in game one are going to come out and give them the old wha-bang and run over the top of them. Big SGA game, big J-Dub game. Be interesting to watch this Chet versus Zach Edey / Triple J battle. Can they win the rebounding? Does their defense just give them the clamps anyway and Memphis can't do shit? My guess is yes. OKC are really fucking good. Just saying. So I'm going to go OKC minus 13.5. Then we have Orlando in Boston for game one. And you know that this is a Celtics team that will be absolutely... You want frothing fans, this Boston team. This is where the championship defense begins, right? They've spent all year fucking around just going, look at who's playing today. Look at Peyton Pritchard. He's doing things. Fuck that. They're now just like, all right, let's fuck some dudes up. Orlando's like, that means, shit. But a 13.5 point line against this Orlando defense. Just, Boston are really, 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 really good. Orlando's defense will probably try their absolute hardest to drag him into the mud, cause all sorts of havoc. And I kind of think they might. I just don't know if their offense can really even hang with Boston's defense. I think Boston just cover that plus 13.5 and lose by like 12. It's just the Orlando, like that's the thing. Like the difference between Memphis, OKC is that Memphis is like middling on both ends, right? Defensively, they've got like a little bit of an uptick. You can sort of see what they're trying to do. But Orlando, I mean, all year have been one of the best defenses in the NBA. If Franz Wagner, and Paolo can just give them a little bit of offensive something, they can stick kind of close with Boston, but yeah. Oof, that is a rough one. I'm gonna go Orlando plus 13.5. Then we've got Miami, Cleveland. This one's at 9 a.m. our time. This is a fascinating one. Miami, look, talk about teams being fed into the wood chipper. I think the Cavs are just like, dude. Miami, Atlanta, we don't care. Outhouse, chicken house, dog house, do not fucking care. We're going to kick the shit out of Miami. I think that's how Cleveland are rolling at the moment. 12.5 point favorites. I sort of look at that Cleveland team and go, right, so who have they got to stop? Bam Adebayo, Tyler Hero, and Davion Mitchell. I think they're going to be okay. I think the Cavs between Garland, Mitchell, you got Davion Mitchell and Donnie Mitchell. That's fun. But you got the two big fellas, Mobley and go the throw Jared Allen at Bam. I think it's just a little bit too much for Miami. I think Cleveland get them at home in game one pretty handily. So we're going to go Cleveland minus 1.5. And then the final one, an absolute rip snorter, Golden State at Houston. I'm a bit bummed that they've actually sort of cottoned on to the fact that Houston's really, really good. Houston are 1.5 point favorites against the Warriors. That annoys me because I was really, really, really happy to take Houston if they were on an underdog. If they were an underdog. There you go. Use your words, Jim. I've had some tins today. I will happily admit that. It's Easter Sunday. This is how we celebrate Zombie Jesus, isn't it? With chocolate and beers. I will probably still go Houston. I think they're just a little bit terrifying. But this is the sort of like, with 1.5, it does sort of feel like the game where Golden State might just give them the old, hello, we've been here before. And everybody and their fucking dog talks themselves into the Warriors suddenly winning the title because they came out and win in Houston in game one, doesn't it? It really feels like that. Steph, Jimmy, Draymond. You saw Andrew Wiggins go off the other day for Miami. And you're like, oh, yes. How fun is that? Houston, it feels like they might have had it like almost too much of a break. It feels like they're a big momentum team. And I feel like they might just get a little bit surprised by Golden State. Between Steph, Jimmy, Draymond, all that experience, even if getting the 1.5 points for Golden State, Houston might win this by 1. And I feel okay about the Golden State plus 1.5 pick. It's a tricky one. As I said, if Houston were underdogs, I'd be fucking frothing to take them, but here we are. Anyway, so tomorrow's games from 3 a.m. We're going to go OKC. We're going to go Orlando to cover, Boston to win, Cleveland to stomp Miami, and Golden State, I reckon, to cover that 1.5 against Houston, but that should be absolutely awesome. And I think that is actually it for today. That's it. So that's the Sunday night check-in, Easter Sunday. I hope you're all full of chocky and beer. We'll be back tomorrow to wrap up everything, I think, properly from Larry Armour Studios. Probably do that back at the house tomorrow once we get back. So keep an eye out for that. We'll be looking a little bit better. It'll sound a little bit better as well because, my audio... the reason there's no bells and whistles, my audio thing just decided to shit itself. So that was pretty cool. Thanks a lot. Now I'm going to have to figure that the fuck out. Anyway, so 1250. This is kind of like 1250A, isn't it? I think we'll do 1250. That's like a big episode number, I feel like. So we might celebrate that a bit more on 1251. So either way, that's NBA Australia for the minute. Go make sure you're getting around us on the socials, all that sort of gear. Rate, subscribe, star, all that. Comment, review, all the things you need to do on your podcast app. Big thanks always go to From Oslo for the intro and outro song and all the other bands that you hear. You can see them in the show description. All right, that's it for tonight. Hope you had a good Easter Sunday. Way to go, Zombie Jesus, I guess. You know, I actually got asked the other day, hey, you remember like when Jesus did his thing? And you're like, oh, no, because I wasn't there. They're like, no. What happens after he like rolled the fucking rock back and was like, ta-da? And you're like, fucking, don't know. And then someone was like, oh yeah, he just like hung out for 40 days and then fucked off again. You're like, so he just sort of like came out and went, look what I can do. And then taught a bunch of dudes, like put them through summer school. And then fucked off to his dad's house again. That's like, he just fucking proved that he could do it. And then he's like, all right, peace. Sure. Anyway, we all believe a lot of things, don't we? All right, that'll do us. Have a cracking one. We will catch you tomorrow, you dickheads. This is NBA Straya saying, look after yourselves, would ya? Go follow all those picks over at Dabble. They're up there now in a couple of same-game multis as well. Code NBA Straya. We'll catch you tomorrow. Later, Hosan! G'day legends, your mate Jim from NBA Straya here. That's right, I'm doing a thing at the end of the show. In the business we call it a thing at the end of the show, I guess. I don't know. Either way, all I'm just saying is just make sure you're rating, reviewing, starring, subscribing across all of the apps that you use for NBA Straya. Jump in the comments, give us a shout. We'll bang you in yeah, nahs. Any other questions? I'll have a crack. I've got nothing better to do, basically. Also, just ask any questions, tell me what you want to hear from the show, and sing out and let us know. And of course, if you want to help support the show, jump on the old Dabble, use that code NBA Straya, click on the link that's in the show description or on the socials. It goes up whenever I do the morning vibes, etc. So, if that's your thing, jump on there, use that code NBA Straya, and remember, look after yourselves, would you?